Hi there, it's Jen from ModernMedicineLady.com and the Empathic Woman System, and the word of the day is nocturnal. And I'm choosing this word because we've just gone through daylight savings time, and so I've been really aware of my nocturnal rhythms with there being sort of that hour difference in time. But also because I was thinking about how important it is to recognize our inner clock and our inner rhythms, and ultimately to be able to work with them as opposed to against them. So I figured the word nocturnal was as good as any other in terms of being able to describe this, because the thing is, I have been called a night owl since I was a tiny little thing. And probably as soon as I was old enough to understand the concept of bedtime, I was fighting against it. I always wanted to stay up past my bedtime. I always wanted to see what was happening after I was going to sleep. It felt like I was missing out on something if I didn't stay up. And once I got old enough to actually be able to decide when I was going to go to sleep, what I found was that my creative process really kicked in at a certain point late at night, and that I would get a second wind where my mind would just really engage, and it would be a time for me to really be able to accomplish a lot of stuff. And when I was younger and I was trying to sort of deal with the natural, sort of the very arbitrary schedules that life throws at you, especially when you're in school, I was trying so hard to be a morning person, so hard to function in that basic 9 to 5 schedule. And no matter how hard I tried, I found it so incredibly difficult to do. And so one of the things that I think has actually served me incredibly well in my life is the fact that I have basically accepted that I am not a morning person. I'm probably never going to be a morning person. And to try to force myself to be a morning person is just really it's such a setup. And instead, what I've worked to do is to create rhythms and to set my life and my work up in a way that it allows me to be the second shift person that I really am, and to be able to go with that rhythm and recognize what I'm best at certain times. Because I have a lot of friends who are morning people, and where it's like they are like cooking with gas at like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and they are like at their best peak performance, like between like 8 and like maybe 11. Whereas for me, that is the time when I am the most sort of quiet and dreamy if I'm actually awake at 8 o'clock in the morning, which usually I'm not. But it's the time when I'm sort of just kind of moving into the day, processing the dreams from the night before, taking Bob out for a walk, making myself a cup of coffee, and just kind of easing my way in. And it isn't until I've been awake for a couple hours that I really start to engage in a way that makes it easier for me to really be active and busy out in the world. So what I've noticed is that it's really important for me to plan my time around when I'm better at doing certain kinds of things. And what I've noticed for myself is that the morning is kind of a time to review things, to kind of, just look at email, notice certain stuff, but not necessarily make any major decisions or start any new projects. But then once we kind of hit lunch, then I have this whole period in the afternoon where I'm just really, really great for doing a lot of physical activity, for doing a lot of like projects that involve a lot of energy, returning phone calls, making connections with other people, working with people, as well as doing writing projects or number crunching or anything that's going to take a lot of mental energy and a lot of focus and just really needing to be just dialed in. And what I've noticed is that when it comes to doing the more intuitive, very, very focused work with my clients, I'm actually a little bit better at that as the day goes further and I go more into the later part of the afternoon and into the evening. And that's when my rhythm is best for that. And then there's sort of a period where I kind of like dip again, around dinner time and until right about now, like 8 o'clock, 8:30. And then I go through this period again around 8:30, 9 o'clock, where all of a sudden my creativity just kind of kicks in. And I have this ability to not necessarily start new projects, but implement the things that are already in motion. And I have a good, solid ability to just kind of hunker down and focus until it's time to basically just, wind down and go back to sleep. And what I have noticed is that if I didn't acknowledge that I was a nocturnal person and use that to my advantage, I would not be able to take advantage of the fact that there's this entire period of time for me when I'm really great at getting stuff done. And because I've acknowledged it and because I've accepted that this is who I am, it's not that there's something wrong with me that I'm not a morning person, it's just that this is who I am. I've been able to find a way to work with this rhythm, and I've been able to work with it in a way that really works best for me and allows me to basically optimize my time and my personal energy. So my question to you right now is, what are your personal rhythms? Are you a morning person? Are you a nocturne like I am? Are you somebody who does best with your creative process during the day? Do you do best in the evening with it? Like, when are you best at being really active? When are you best at engaging with other people? When are you best at conversations and negotiating things? When are you best at doing the stuff that demands a lot of mental focus and attention? And is it possible to start arranging your life so that you are actually doing the things that you're best at during the times when you are best at them? So I'd love to hear what you have to say about all of this. Please leave a comment below. And until next word of the day, and hopefully after I've had a little bit more sleep than I did today, I wish you peace and ease and also awareness of your own personal rhythms. And in the meantime, please go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jennifer Moore, Modern Medicine Lady, and also I'd be eternally grateful for your help getting this video out there. So please like it and share it and pass it along to other people who would find it useful. Thank you so much. Peace.